What's up, guys? Be Waggy for another Minecraft video. We're gonna be doing a Redstone tutorial, and basically the only reason I'm doing this is because I ran low on stock footage and needed something to post. So this is what you're gonna get, is the Redstone tutorial, and I think this will be not just one episode, but quite a few, because Redstone is pretty intricate, and they're going to be 30-minute long episodes, not my usual 15. So that's that. Let's get into it. So this is going to go from basics all the way up to advanced. So probably, as most of you know, that is obviously going to get powered when I flip the switch. So now if I put a block there with a torch or a lever on it, it sends power to there, to there, to there, to there, to there, and to there. Ooh, yeah, never mind. To there, to there, and to there, and to there, and to there. So you have a shape like that, and that's what a switch can do. And I'll be using lamps because they're the easiest to show what gives power to what. So as we move down the line, as you might also know, Redstone can only travel a certain number of blocks before its signal runs out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The key number is 15. 15 blocks is the maximum number you can go. So if there was a redstone lamp here, well, so obviously it wouldn't be powered there, so that doesn't work, and that does. I guess it's the easiest way to show it. It's a bit convoluted, but so that's that, the maximum signal. Next thing, let's see. And obviously, buttons and pressure plates work exactly the same as switches do. I'm a bit jumbled with my words here. I don't know why. So obviously these are going to work exactly the same. If there's something there and something there, it's going to turn it on. That'll turn it on. And in the new update, this button will also turn it on. And this one's the one that's affected with the bow and arrow. So that's that. Moving on. Let's see what else I should get into here. Easiest way to, actually maybe I'll get into, extending circuits. Or not extending circuits, just get into circuits themselves. So probably one of the easiest circuits would be, an AND gate, which is this right here. That's an AND gate. And the output, like that. So essentially what this is it's saying that this one has to be on and this one needs to be on for that to turn on. So that and that, turn it on. And the basic reasoning behind this is this right here. Redstone torches are powered by default. So when you put something over it, it's powered by default. But if you power a redstone torch, it turns off. And this is basically what that's showing. So what this does, this piece of redstone right here is powering that torch. So when I turn this on, that torch turns off, but this one's still on, which means that this is still powered, which means this is unpowered, which means this is unpowered. And the same with this side. This side's still powered, which means that that's unpowered, which means this is unpowered. But when they're both off, or on, these two are unpowered, which means that's unpowered, which means this goes to its default state of being powered, which powers that. And that's the AND gate. It can be used for passwords, for locks, and stuff like that. So that's the AND gate. Next thing is, let's see, an easy way of getting signal to things, I guess, would be what we're going to go on to. So as I showed you before, when you power a block with a redstone torch on, the redstone torch turns off. And this gives you an easy way to send power upwards. So you build a vertical stack and cut out every other block and put torches on them. And this is what you're going to see happen. It's going to be on, off, on, off, on, off. And then these can go on all sides. And they'll all be unpowered. So we can put these there, and these will all get powered. So I'm kind of going out of my way for this, but I'm just there. So we will see this get powered, because when this torch gets turned off, this one goes to its default on state, which turns this one off, which turns this one on, and it's just a repeating pattern like that. So we see all those light up. And with each torch, it's a 1 tick delay. And a tick, I will get into a tick later, probably in the next episode. So we'll get into that later. So that's traveling, sending power upwards. Excuse me, it's late here. Getting a bit tired. So the next thing is I'm gonna have to check a few circuits for the other episodes, because I've forgotten a bunch of them, like the XOR gate and the NOT gate. I've forgotten those. Well, actually, the NOT gate I think is something like this. I think. Wait, oop, that there and that there. I think it's something like this. And if there's torch there, maybe, and there and there. I'm not sure. Maybe it's over here that you have to have them or something. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. That's not the NOT gate, because the NOT gate doesn't work like that. So then the next, it's hard to kind of figure out a good order to go in here. the next thing I'll show you is how to extend a circuit that has reached its 15 block limit. So let me just get a circuit here, or not a circuit, just kind of like a strip of redstone. So this strip of redstone has exceeded its 15 block limit, and you can tell that by it's not getting powered. And you can see these give off a particle effect, and this one doesn't. So the way to extend it is you use what's called a repeater. And I'll get more into repeaters now later. I'm just going to give the basic idea of a repeater. The repeater just extends the circuit. And we'll do the same thing with the older version of the repeater. There was a version that people used before the actual repeater block came out, and I'm going to show you that right now. So that is essentially something that looks like this. And this was a pain to make. So that gets turned off, and this gets turned on like that. So that's powered, and then when I turn it off, it's unpowered. And that was the old style repeater, which was a pain. I mean, it's giant. It's 3 blocks wide, 2 blocks tall. It's just a pain to make. So moving on, we're gonna get into pistons, I guess. Just kind of this might skip around a little bit. We'll just have to see. I don't know. I might be leaving a few things out, but yeah. So the piston works the exact same way as anything else does in terms of getting powered. It's powered just the same exact way. So we'll just put a redstone. No, it won't even get lit up. So when I pull this lever, it'll send power and push the piston up. And same with that. And this will work with a button. It will work with all of that normal stuff. The button, the pressure plate, the lever. I don't even know what it is. Is it lever? I think it's all. I've always said lever. But people say it differently everywhere. I've always said lever. Excuse me. So that's that, and then the only difference between a sticky piston and a normal piston is that a sticky piston is able to retract the block. With a normal piston, you cannot retract the block. All you can do is just push it. So once I can't bring it back down. And that's that. With this, I can. So that's the difference between those two. Now we're gonna move on to some some piston circuits. So the most popular piston circuit is what's called a T flip-flop. And oh my god, I'm so tired. What the T flip-flop is it allows you to toggle a signal using a button. So usually with a button, like right here, let me just run a little quick signal here. Usually with a button, it turns on for a second and then turns off. And like this. Turns on and then off. So this allows you to toggle. And the way it works is you have blocks like that and redstone being run across the top. And so let's say you could put something there. Let me break that block. So essentially when there's a block above a torch, actually let's rewind a little bit over here to exactly what a torch does. Actually, before we do that, take a quick break and I'll be right back. Welcome back. So we're going to get into exactly what a torch does. So a torch, when there's a block above it, will give power to the block beside it, like that, and above it. So let me lay out some of these lamps. So this is essentially what that doesn't get powered. That doesn't get powered. That doesn't get powered. So that's that. And this is exactly the same way. So when we place a button, your input for this is these two things. It can go to either of them. So you get run wire along here if you wanted to a button. And that shifts it like that. But for the sake of room, we can just put it there. What this does is for a split second it powers this redstone, which unpowers these torches, which sends a signal to this piston to retract, and then it also sends, when it lights back up, it sends one to this to push. So what you would do, the output is right here with this torch, and this torch is a key part of it. There's other ways to do it without a torch, and I'll show you that in a second. So let's say you put wire there, and a lamp there. When it gets shifted over, this block will be over this torch, which will power this dust. And then you can turn it off. And that's a T flip-flop. So that's how that works. And there's other ways of doing it without a torch that I'll show you right now. So there, and there, and whoa. That's what we don't want. There we go. So another way of doing it is a repeater can send signal through a block to the other side, like that. It can also send it to, I'll get into that later. So yes, it can send it through like that, or it can also send it through like this. Like that. But if there's dust on this side, it won't work. It's got to be a repeater. So that's how that works. So you could have a torch here and a repeater here, and since it's powered, this side will get powered as well, which we can have it lead to a lamp. And when we shift it or toggle it, it will move away, which unpowers it. But as you can see, this is a more convoluted way of doing it. And the only reason you need to do this is if this were to be a lever. And this is because if you wanted to completely turn off the T flip-flop effect, you could. So turn on, this will work. Now if you wanted to turn the entire circuit off, you'd flip that switch, so now it won't work. Both ways, it doesn't work. So that's that. And then now, this is another T flip-flop, but it is a different design that shifts faster. And this one is pretty much, actually it is exactly the same, there's just one change. And that one change is the redstone dust on top is powered by default. And the way you do that is you just bring it over, and then you add what's called like a circuit it switches the power of the circuit. So now when this gets powered by a button, doesn't need to be a button, but a button will work. When this gets powered, it'll send power to the block, which turns off the torch by default. So, and that switches it immediately, as opposed to this. This switches when the button comes back out, and this switches when the button goes in. So that's how that works. So that's that. Let's move on to the next thing. And the next thing is, let's see, what else do we have here? I need to check out the wiki for some more circuits, because I've completely forgotten them. Let me think. Oh, okay, so we can move on to what's called an RS NOR latch. What this does is it allows you to toggle with a button to two different outputs per se. So this is how you do it. You put a torch there and a torch there, and then you connect these two. And your outputs here, and your inputs are into these blocks. And this is essentially a T flip-flop with a reset, if you will. So our other output is right here. I should not have put that much space there. So there. And then what are we trying to do here? There we go. Okay. So you see this one right now is powered. So if I flip this switch, it will send power to this, which will, wait, hold on. No, if it's a, flip that one. Okay, so if I flip this switch now, it will send power to this, which will unlight this torch for a split second, which is long enough to unpower this, which, since this is powered, that's unpowered. And since if this goes unpowered, that will get powered by default long enough to send power to that and to this to keep this off. So if I flip it, you see it changes. So it's just a signal change from one to the other. And this can be used if you have a wall, like a wall of your house, and then you want to build a two-way doorway. This is one way of doing it. Another way, an easier way, would be the redstone, or the T flip-flop. So you have your house, which isn't even. It's even now. There we go. So then you want to have a button over here that opens the door. So it's right here. Then we want to have another button right up here, in here. So you walk through this long corridor, and then you press a button right here. So we're going to build our RS NOR latch like this. And here's our outputs. So this would go to the door right here. Not like that. And you have to be careful when you cross signals, or if you cross signals. So now you want to tear this up for a split second and build it the other way. So like that. Okay, so now this can be brought out to our door, and I'll go underground with it, kind of make it look semi-decent. Okay, so It's right there. There, we're gonna go up with it. So right now our door is open by default. Okay, so then this, we're gonna press this to, we would press me. Okay, so right now it's closed. And to open it, we're going to want to make it so that this one's powered. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to connect this outside button to this one, which will turn this off, which turns this one on. And then since we have our other button right there, we're going to bring our dust onto there and bring this one to there. So this is just a messy little setup. So what I could do is I'd get to my house, open the door, I'd have all the time in the world to walk through it, get to the other side, and it closes. And that's what you can do with an RS NOR latch. So that is the RS NOR latch. Looks like we're going to have time for maybe one more quick lesson. And that can be on delay, if we can get it done quick enough. So delay is done with repeaters. That's why there's the different settings on repeaters. So if we stretch this out, and in the next video I'll explain more about the ticks and what they are. So a repeater can give off different tick delays. That's 1 tick, 2 tick, 3 tick, and 4 ticks. So if we replace this with a button, we get a block and replace it with a button, we need to get rid of our door. Okay, so if we branch out here with a bunch of different ones, so this can lead to 1, this can lead to 1, this can lead to 1, so that's that, and this will give us all of our possible delays with 1 repeater. Like that. So as you can see, when I press the button, they're all going to light up in rapid succession. So that is what the repeater does. So that looks like it's going to be it for this episode, and we're going to get more into repeaters in the next one. So far what we've covered in this episode is mainly the basics. And what we're looking at is just simple basic powering of redstone things, what it could power, our length of redstone, our simple torch mechanics, our simple circuits, our running wire straight up circuit type thing, our extending of a circuit the modern way and the ye olde way, our pistons, the difference between sticky and normal, and our mechanics of a button, and then our piston circuits, which contain the RS NOR latch, not the RS NOR latch, excuse me, T flip-flop, the normal one, the toggleable in its entirety one, so you can turn this entire T flip-flop off, and the supercharged one. Then we're going to move on to our RS NOR latch and an example circuit of one with the door. And then last but not least, we have our first repeater lesson, which will be continued next episode. That's going to do it for episode 1, and thank you guys for watching.